Aloha, welcome back to Aina Bear Farm. We're going to show you a few of the steps that we're taking to prepare the new agroforestry project that we're working on. We just recently posted a video at the whiteboard kind of showing the design and layout, and now we're going to show you the site and some of the things that we're doing to get the site ready before we start really digging and planting. So first things first, we need water. I definitely don't want to go through all the trouble of creating a really nice, newly designed project like that, and then you get really hot and dry, and you're hauling water down there or connecting hoses. And I definitely have more that I can maintain at the moment, watering wise, on the property in terms of the food forest and things. And I definitely don't want to add any more to that. And so I need for this area to be super easy. Just turn on the nozzle and walk away. So what we're doing here, which Polu is demonstrating very nicely, is running some lines. And so here we've got the head assembly for one irrigation line that's been in place for a while. This goes mostly to our white pineapples. And next to it, we just have a nice heavy-duty hose. And we are going to put another head assembly at the end of this hose. And I'll kind of show you what I mean in a second here. But this is just kind of the standard assembly with a filter, a PSI controller, backflow controller, all that kind of stuff, so that you don't blow out your fittings and that you don't get water back up into your water supply that might be contaminated by stuff in the soil, and that you don't get grit and things in your water system. So I just recently dug a trench to run these through, which I'm not really gonna cap it or anything. I'll just let the grass sort of grow over it. That way, since it's below grade, when I come in and mow, I don't have to worry about hitting these lines, which I have done before. So this was a lot of work, but definitely going to be worth not having to worry about it in the future. And this is the kind of thing, especially this time of year, if you can get a machine to do it real quick, I would advise that, because as you can see, it's gorgeous out, but it's kind of hot to do that type of work with just a Matic axe, more or less by hand. We're back to our springtime temperatures of close to 80 degrees here. So you can see that we're extending down here, and actually let me rotate around a little bit. I'll show you some of our younger pineapples. So here we've got a double row, and you can see the irrigation tape splintering off there, and I've got the nozzles for each line, so I can kind of control individually where I want the water to go, and then it just goes laterally off the main line. This black line is 3/4 inch tubing, poly tubing, and you can see this one laying next to it. This will not be sitting there. This is what we're going to pull down and use for our project area. So right here is where the hose comes to an end, and here you can see kind of one of our more mature pineapple areas, which you may have seen in previous videos with the moringa and all that. And the line's running out. So right here is where we'll put another one of those heading fittings so that we can attach to the poly tube, and then we'll continue on with the poly tube. And the reason that I did not attach the poly tube to go to this new area at the end of this line is because then I would have to come and manually turn off every single one of these lines so that I could basically get a decent enough pressure to water the lower area. And then there might be times where I want to water the upper, just the lower. The lower area is a really big area, and we'll talk about watering that in a moment as well. But I just wanted to basically be able to bypass this whole system and have a separate system, even though they're kind of heading in the same direction. I thought about actually adding on at first, but then realized that That would probably be a big mistake. So as we head down, kind of get a little bit of an overview. It's still hard to see with all the grass, but this is the area that we drew out on the whiteboard next to the road there. I was going down to check it out. And I mentioned size-wise, it's about 200 feet in length and about 100 feet in width. Let me shortcut us down there. So you can see that this is kind of an entirely separate area on the farm. There's quite a steep drop right there of about 10 feet or so, and we've kept the grass high along the ridge up there just to kind of block some wind. And it's really difficult to walk straight down there, so we kind of walk around at the moment. And this barbed wire is just a holdover from when we had a friend, their horse was out here, and the horse ate down a lot of this grass, got it nice and clear for me, dropped a lot of manure, so we definitely appreciate that. And then what we've done is gone ahead and put just some dead sticks in. 1, 2, 3, you can kind of see them down the line. These are going to represent those anchor fruit trees that we mentioned in the design videos. So this is our ulu, our soursop, and our longan or longan. And then what I also wanted to show was that going down the fence line, you can see these holes that I've dug. So dug, I think, 32 holes the other day, about 4 feet apart. And those go all the way down the fence, and then they turn down at the bottom of the fence as well. And that's all going to be Tithonia, Mexican sunflower. So, this is right alongside the road. I don't really think we actually need a lot of wind protection down here. It's actually a farm across the street here. They do mostly mac nuts that blocks a lot of the wind. But as you can see, cars going by. I do want at least a little bit of privacy from the cars, especially since this is going to be eventually high value crops. I just don't want to attract anybody thinking, oh hey, maybe there's something of value up there and I can just hop the fence and see what's up there, especially because this is sort of like hidden from the rest of our property, kind of out of our sight. I really doubt anything like that would happen. This is a very quiet area in that respect, and we have great neighbors, keep their eye out for everything. But I just figured best to be on the safe side, put in that kind of privacy screen, and then who knows, over time maybe I will cut that and use it as extra mulch as well. But for now, just like we said in the design, we've got a fruit tree row here. Right here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a rock. This represents one of the interim rows, so this would actually be where a row of Tithonia would be going down, just to cut as mulch. We go down, find another rock. This is the interim row, so we haven't measured out, laterally across the field for those, but this is going to initially be that papaya nitrogen fixer row. Eventually I'll have some cacao in it, and the pattern like that just continues down. We've got another rock, and then we've got a row of sticks, which are really hard to see now, kind of getting buried in the grass here. But overall, I believe we have space. The top row is going to be 8 fruit trees, then 7 fruit trees, and then 6 fruit trees. We have an old dog kennel there that's going to get taken away at some point, make a little extra space on the end. And then we will have the cacao down the middle, and then 4 or 5 rows of the Tithonia to maintain. And then one of the things I didn't mention in the design video, I have a lot of moringa seeds that I'm going to add to that kind of earlier crop. I'll try to make some moringa powder with those, see how that goes. And that's about it. We have that irrigation line running right down the middle, so we'll run double rows of drip tape along the fruit tree rows, and then a single row of drip tape along the Tithonia rows. I think single's all we need for the Tithonia. Kind of grow like a weed once it's established. And then we will run them, obviously lines going this way and then lines going that way. And what we'll probably do when we water is turn off one side at a time so we can really get a decent amount of pressure. So we'll water like the whole right side and then the whole left side. Which, is a little bit of a pain, but I think that that's going to work better than trying to water such a big area all at once. Even though this is really downhill from the source, we get a lot of gravity assist there, but, it's just hard with these fittings because you can only have so much pressure before they just come out. So check back in with us soon. We'll have more videos as we get this going. Our next step will be to start creating some of these areas where the support species will go in. It's going to be bananas on this top row, so we'll start harvesting our banana keiki and getting them put in there. We will start planting our nitrogen fixers either by seed or by cuttings. We'll start setting up these interim rows with the Tithonia. Probably the very next step we're going to do is actually just put in the Tithonias along the fence because those holes are already dug. I've already got the propagation material. So we'll catch you up as we make more progress here. I hope that was interesting, just staring at a blank canvas for now, but more to come soon. All right, aloha.